Yo, yo, yo. It's D.Arthur in the building. Talking to you guys today about why women will respect you more while you're on retention. And she'll finally be the one to hit you up first if she wants, if while you're on semen retention. Usually when you're a younger guy, let's say like 18 to like 22 or something like that, there comes a time where you start realizing that you have to do a little bit more in order to attract the type of woman that you really want. I mean, it's easy to settle for any type of woman, but if there's a distinct quality, really high quality woman that you want, you got to realize that you start realizing when you're on retention that you have to do a little bit more in order to attract her, because very high quality women have a lot of options. They have a lot of options. They can get any guy they want easily. But if you're a guy, it's gonna take a little bit more for you in order for you to attract, let's say, a higher quality woman. And when it comes to attraction, and it comes to let's say who holds the power in the, let's say, the attraction phase, and when you're trying to like pull her, what you start realizing is the busier you are, the more things that you have going on, the more things that you can look forward to in your life, the more social you are, the more just a fun guy you are, the more intention that you have in your life. That's going to carry some weight when you're trying to attract her, because a guy who really has nothing going on, and it seems like he's relapsing all the time. He's looking around. He's trying to get anything that he can get. He's always doing things that he really shouldn't be doing. He's not really focused. He keeps complaining about things. He keeps complaining about why women are like this, why he's not getting any breaks, why this is that, why he always talks about his misery or his L's or something like that. This type of man really is gonna win when it comes to any type of attraction, and he's gonna settle for less than what he deserves, because he really doesn't have that much going on. The key to attracting, let's say, a high quality woman, and let's say keeping her, is you have to have things going on, and you really have to be okay whether she's with you or she isn't, because you have to be okay whether if she ignores you or not. You have to be okay with yourself if she doesn't respond how you want her to, because that's sometimes that is the case. And you can really defeat all of this, and you can really just become, you can be higher than all of these, like, let's say, problems, if you retain, if you work out, if you have a soul mission, if you have a purposeful life, if you wake up with intention, if you laugh, if you're a positive dude, if you're a high quality person. You can really just all of the let's say average type of problems that a man has when it comes to attracting women. She didn't call me back. She didn't text me back. She ghosted me. She lost interest in me. All of these things usually happen to the average guy because they just don't have that much things going on to keep them occupied. Women are more like your shadow. If you can treat them like your shadow, if you can just keep going in a straight line, and then they somehow tend to follow you. But if you're always like looking out for them, trying to chase them, trying to attract them with maybe things that you have, then they're really not going to be stuck around. They're not really going to stick around. And when you're on semen retention, it makes it a lot easier for you to attract higher quality women, because you're actually okay with yourself even if she's not there. The person who wins in, let's say, the relationship, and the person who holds the most power, is usually the person who cares the least about the relationship. If you care less than she does, then you're probably going to be in a better spot. But if you're always needy, if you're always desperate, if you're always waiting for her phone call, if you're always doing things, if your world kind of revolves around her, then that's pretty much that's the code and the DNA for you not to be happy at the end. So I mean, and going on semen retention really helps you transcend into who you really want to become. And when you really become who you really want to be, you care less about what she does. You can't put your entire world on the actions of she does, because more often than not, she's probably going to disappoint you when it comes down to it. It's just how it is. She's probably going to do something that you probably don't like. It's just how it is. But the thing is, you have to realize that this probably may happen, and you have to realize that you're okay with it, even if she does, let's say, disappoint you or something like that. Because if you're a high quality man, you're always on your purpose, you're always on your grind. You actually have things in your life that, aside from her, that you're looking forward to, and you could care less what she does, because you actually have things that are going on. Now, to keep her around when you're on retention, to keep her around, you gotta there's this thing called an intention point. The moment where you, let's say, you meet her and you're talking to her, you have to do something a little bit, let's say, unique from the rest, so she can keep you in her thoughts. Because if she realizes that she's always thinking about you when you're not around, then you really got yourself in a good spot, and she'll start doing things to keep you around, instead of the other way around. If you're always chasing her, then you can really keep her for so long. But if she's always trying to chase you, and you're the prize, and you're always maybe one step ahead of her or something like that, and you're always spontaneous, and you have other things going on, then you're probably gonna have the advantage in the, let's say, the relationship. So I mean, go on semen retention. I hope you start realizing a lot of things. A lot of guys like to settle. They like to say, go for a girl that really isn't on your level or something like that. And the person who usually says this is probably the person who hasn't put enough work to realize their potential. Because if you start actually putting the work in, and when I say work, I mean like hitting the gym, working on a purposeful mission, not giving excuses, not giving outside circumstances your life, and molding your life how you really want it to be, start realizing that your worth is super high, and you're going to need a woman to kind of be in that same area. Maybe not at the same level, but somewhere in the same vicinity, because it's so easy for guys just to settle for anything. And the woman that you really have in your life is kind of a reflection of you. So if you're, like, let's say, settling for someone that you know you can do better, then what you're telling yourself is that you're just not, you're kind of, you're lazy. You're too lazy to fight for something better. You're okay with settling. You're okay with taking the crumbs instead of the whole cake. You're okay with having someone you're okay with having someone nag you, even if you're not even that attracted to her, simply because she has a vagina. And this is the case for a lot of guys. This is the case. But I mean, if you're on semen retention, you kind of realize that your worth is very high, and you want a little bit more than the average man. There's this thing called the advancing man that I said. The advancing man is the person who's always progressing. It's a man that everybody wants to take advice from, because it seems like he's always progressing to a more abundant life. He's always doing something a little bit newer, a little bit more different, and he's always, let's say, becoming the best him as possible. And this is very attractive to anybody. Maybe it's a business scenario or anything. This becomes a little bit more a person who's like this is a little bit more attractive to the normal man. And if you can become, let's say, an advancing man, where you're always progressing, you're always you're always hitting something new. Maybe you hit a new PR in the weight room, or you hit a new revenue level in your business, or you've attracted someone that you really like. They're gonna find this. People are gonna find this attractive because the person who can show them the way of a more abundant life is never gonna lack for a group, for a congregation, because he is showing how you can become a lot better. And everybody wants to have a better life, but nobody really wants to like put in the work to get that life. But the person who does have that better life, he's never gonna lack for a congregation, because he's showing people how possible it really is. If that makes sense. So you'll keep her around while you're on semen retention. She'll start chasing you, and you'll just become a well-rounded individual who's very attractive to anybody, to women and men alike. So I mean, the next time you're questioning whether you should be with a chick, just make sure if she's worthy enough, if she's in the same vicinity as you. If she's not, then just leave, because at some point you realize it's just really not that worth it. So like, comment, and subscribe below, and we'll see you in the next video. Peace.